Hello, and welcome to Cade Friends podcast. I'm here with our guest, Andrew Nichols of See Andrew Nichols Photos and So Many Sequels fame, and Alex from Alex from the world.
Various Cade Thomas stuff. Made appearances in a few other people's things, but
I mean, you are like. I mean, you have a plethora of stuff. You've been an actor. You're being a producer. You've been what else is he?
Director.
Director.
I directed your.
Yeah, he directed my play. He's done theater He's done theater work and film work.
Now I'm in the amusement park industry.
And now he's in the amusement park industry. So bravo to him.
I worked at Arby's.
You worked at. Did you work at Arby's?
I worked at Arby's two different summers. I loved it there.
Oh, okay.
They have the meats.
They do have the meats. They screwed up my order last night, but they do have the meats.
And if you want to hear that story, subscribe to our Patreon and listen to our mic checks if you want to hear how horrible they messed up Andrew's order. It is spectacular, and it's not just switching of a menu item. It is huge and monumental.
It is a saga is what it is.
I think this saga is everything before.
We learned a lot about ostriches and how to prepare ostriches. Maybe that's a more interesting plot.
Listen, I'm writing a book right now about my trip to Arby's, and trust me, it was so emotionally taxing whenever I wrote it.
They're lying.
Yes. Well, anyways, yeah. So people should know Alex because Alex has been on a lot of these. So this is really your episode, Andrew. And yes, and he was technically Andrew was a. Were you trying to get to applause? Yes. Andrew's here. Thank you, studio audience.
Thank you, studio audience.
I had to switch tabs, so it was like, oh boy, that's
yeah.
Is there more? No, never mind.
Yes, you'll learn all this, Andrew.
Well, hot damn.
You're going to be on a ride here. So technically, Andrew was a guest in what was that? Our third or fourth episode or whatever, where he joined virtually way back. Yeah.
He's joined us several times virtually. He joined us for an after show or Omaha after show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I was the top commentator because I just kept asking questions and saying stuff. Then all of a sudden, I'm in the show. So
you audience, that could be you.
That could be you.
You comment a lot. We might bring you on.
You could be sitting where I'm sitting right now.
Well, maybe not sitting there, but virtually, you could virtually be sitting where he is right now.
But you could be.
You could be. I mean, if we like you enough, I guess you could be sitting there.
I mean, yeah. And look at this. You get all these nice colored tiles. This is a nice comfy chair. I've got a weighted blanket.
That's a good point. We need to talk about the weighted blanket, Andrew. Is the weighted blanket comfortable?
You know what? It actually is. I feel very calm.
Very calm.
Very calm and just all around good.
Well, that's good. That's what we try to make our guests feel.
Yes.
That could be you. Be our top commenter.
This could be you.
Subscribe to our Patreon. But also, that seems cheap to be like, you have to pay to come here. But it would definitely help.
I will tell you this right now. If you subscribe to the Patreon, I will sign this.
What, that we have to give away the weighted blanket now? Oh, are you just going to sign it?
I'm just going to sign it. Nobody's going to get anything. I'm just going to sign the deal.
Yeah. So. But only if you, the viewer, subscribes to our Patreon. Great. So how do we Andrew, describe yourself to someone who doesn't know you and everything?
Well, I'm from Northeast Oklahoma. I've lived in Tulsa now for about the past since 2014, so about 7 years. This will be my 7th year. I think it's about all right? Yeah.
Something to know about you is that you have a beard. You have facial hair.
I do have facial hair.
Yeah, some people might be listening to audio only, so they maybe need to know that.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Some people really enjoyed that.
Get your ASMR on right there. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's enough.
I'm a little...
Cade, you are going to have to clean this after you're done. Or I will clean it after you're done, whichever one you want me to do.
Andrew is also a very big hat guy. And
I am a very big hat guy.
He has no hair on the top of his head.
That is true. I am very bald.
I can go on top of the...
No, not really.
Looks like you have a really tall head.
You're not very bald. You're just half bald.
No, I'm very bald.
You got the hair on the side.
But that's very bald.
I'd say very bald is like no hair.
Well, I mean, like there's like like bald, and then there's shaved bald. And I know a lot of people who are shaved bald. I do it in the summertime just because it feels good. I don't do it in the wintertime because I want as much coverage as I can. Because hair does like keep my head warm a little bit.
Genuine question. Have you ever thought about using that like hair growth shampoo or that like any of that hair growth stuff?
So I actually tried to use that a few years ago, and I figured I didn't want to do that anymore because baldness is just who I am, and I accept it for who I am.
We support body positivity on the show.
Sure, and the thing is that like it's just one thing that I accept and one thing I actually like. It's just me. But the thing is that like baldness is just a part of me anymore. And if you're bald, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Are you like? If you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, where like Larry David, he feels very in tune with the bald community.
You know what?
When he sees another bald person, he's like, "Oh, we're the same. We have something in common."
Exactly. I feel superpowers whenever I have no hair. So
when did you go bald?
I first started noticing I was going bald right around I was about 17 or 18, and by the time I was about 23, 24. I was what I am now.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, my hair did not last for very long. I didn't do anything special to my hair. It just how it is. Now, the weird thing is that they say that baldness comes from the mother's side. Am I wrong in assuming that?
I think that's what they say, like your grandfather on the mother's side, right? Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that all, like everybody on my mother's side has hair. My brother has hair. My dad does not have hair. Oh, okay. His dad does not have hair, and most of the men on that side also do not have hair.
So it came from that.
So figure that out. I must have defied genetics or something, because like that just skipped my brother and went to me, and I was just like, well, here I am. But the thing is that here I am. I'm here to talk about baldness with you.
Yeah.
This is our bald episode.
So did it start like in the front, or did it start in the back, or
it worked its way? It started really from both. Oh. So like I noticed there was a lot of skin coverage back here, like on my scalp. And I never really had a widow's peak, but I did have like receding hairline. And I really noticed it whenever I was 20, because like right around here, it started getting very thin. And after a while, I just said, don't need hair anymore. So,
I mean, who needs hair when you can wear a cool hat?
That's true. And
hats need to come back more in style
they
as well.
They do, like, and not just like baseball caps. I'm talking like fedoras.
Yes,
fedoras are just where it's at. Bowler hats. I wear bowler hats wherever I go.
And I wish we would get back with a haberdasher. Like there'd be like in towns, there'd be somewhere you can go and they would make a hat for you. And it'd be like a quality hat, because like every hat you see is like mass produced, almost.
Yeah, and they don't fit. Mm-hmm. Like I mean, Amazon anymore. You can order hats from Amazon. I've ordered hats from Amazon, and it's like one size fits most. That's what they are. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. It's sad that we have moved to a society that's mostly hatless. It would be cool, and like it wouldn't be odd that someone's just wearing like some sort of weird hat.
For real,
a fedora, a pith helmet.
So if you ever,
know what, I want a pith helmet.
You should, yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Would that be your like presidential platform? Bringing back hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that would be it.
You know what? And also,
I'd be a one-issue candidate. It would only be hat-related policies.
Make sure you bring back like I've noticed that a lot of presidents anymore just don't have facial hair.
Yeah, that is true.
Like the last president I can remember who had facial hair was Teddy Roosevelt.
And you remember that? Yeah, you were alive during that.
I was there. Him and I like had brandies like every Tuesday.
Well, Taft right after him.
Let's ask Google.
We can, but I just want to say that Taft after him had a big walrus mustache.
Oh, never mind then.
Right, well, he was immediately following him, but after that, I don't know. You have Will. I was going to try to work through it myself, but sure, we'll do it. We'll
you
do
want
it.
to have a moment?
I want to have a moment where I sit there and was like, because, so Wilson. No, I don't. I think that Taft might have been the last facial hair president.
Yeah, because FDR didn't have any.
Yeah.
Who was before FDR? Was it Hoover?
Yeah, none of them, like Harding, Coolidge, Hoover didn't have any.
Okay.
And then Wilson before Harding didn't have any.
Have any presidents had it after their presidency?
Oh, that's a good question.
I
don't know.
I don't know. That is a good question. I know that like Johnson, whenever Johnson left office, he grew his hair out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he grew. Yeah, like after because like
he became a hippie.
He actually he kind of did. But the thing is that he grew his hair out, and the back of his hair like came down to his neck.
Huh.
So yeah, he actually did.
Yeah, there's a photo. A bit of almost like a mullet.
Yeah.
Almost mullet like.
Yeah, he just
that's an odd look.
Wow.
Okay, we'll ask
the Google.
How do we phrase this question?
What was the last president to have facial hair?
Okay. Hey Google, what was the last president to have facial hair?
According to Wikipedia, the most recent president to have had facial hair was William Howard Taft.
Oh,
I worked
It's
through
been
it.
a long time.
Let's do that.
Sounds like a trivia question, man.
That's what I was thinking. Was like this is very reminiscent to trivia.
Andrew and I are in a trivia team, and there is a lot of presidential questions. I'm the presidential historian of that, and so
That's why you wanted to work it out.
I'm the movie historian.
he's the movie historian.
Yeah.
I showed up once and I was just chaos.
Yes, which that's always good to have.
Yeah, we need a chaotic factor. Listen, chaos is awesome.
My genuine stick there was just talking louder and saying, "What if it's this answer?" in the hopes that people behind us would maybe say, "Oh, is that the answer?"
Yeah,
and it worked once.
Throw them down the wrong rabbit hole.
And some people would call that shady. Some would call it like not moral. But I say, I want to win.
So let me tell you something, Alex. I have to explain the story at trivia because you were not there, but it was genuine. For me, it was a genuine stupid moment because what happened was that like we were. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, we answered this question and there was a big group of us. I think there was about 12 of us in this one thing, and it was back in like August or September. And the answer to the trivia question was WrestleMania. And what happened was that it got a little quiet in the place we were at. And for some reason, I was thinking back to there's a scene in Groundhog Day where Bill Murray's character gives two people who just got engaged tickets to WrestleMania, and one of them screams out WrestleMania. And for some reason, it was in my brain, and everybody got quiet, and I just said, kind of loudly, WrestleMania, and one of the team members looks right at me and says, "I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. Could you say that again a little louder?"
Did everyone look at you after you said?
Oh yeah.
It was, yeah. And the worst thing, so Andrew was sort of in his mind. We had already submitted WrestleMania, and he's just sitting there, and then it like kind of dies down as other people are trying to guess what it is, and then just out of the blue, Andrew just screams out WrestleMania. He was in a trance before he said that, and he just screamed it out.
And like whenever I said it, I just stopped for a second and I realized, good God, what did I just do? And I tried to make it up by saying like, I think that's the answer. I mean, I don't remember what else happened after that because I kind of blacked out. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But yep, that's my WrestleMania moment. So you are good.
Yes.
We love WrestleMania. Sponsored by.
Yeah.
We are also sponsored by the WWE. Not really, but actually not at all. But
It's not like Arby's are real fake. They have the meats.
yeah, the lawyers are in the corner and they're like, no, do
listen.
not mention those 3 letters ever again.
Yeah. Well, I think that brings us to our first segment for the day. Andrew, here's our first segment.
Okay.
It is titled Lil Nicky. Yes. Andrew, are you ready for Lil Nicky?
I think so. No.
Probably our most popular segment.
Probably our most popular segment. This is a fun segment. You're going to listen to a pre-recorded segment that Alex and I did. We did this 2 years ago.
Wow.
So, so you're going to listen to it and you're going to react to it. You can react to it live. You can, wait to it.
I have the ability to pause it if you need me to pause it.
Okay.
Yes. And, but you can also just listen to it all the way through. It's a lengthy segment. So you'll get to sit here and take it in and really take it in. And here we go. Lil Nicky.
Hello, Alex. This is Lil Nicky.
Hasn't gotten old yet.
So, who knows weeks from now when we're actually hearing this, if this will have gotten old. I don't know if you're here on this episode. Who knows? We're here to decide the Lil Nicky for Andrew, our good friend Andrew.
Oh my God, Andrew.
Yes, Andrew.
Boy.
Andrew. Okay, so you're just blank faced whenever I said that. Okay. Anyways, this little segment of our show is where we come up with a new nickname for a good friend of ours, and we spend some time. We put a time on the clock, and we come up with a new nickname for them. And at the end of the show, at the end of this segment, we throw back to them and we say, "Do you accept or decline your Lil Nicky?"
That's about as easy as that. Yeah. Simple as that. Sometimes we do a bit in front of it. Sometimes we don't. However, I don't know if we're doing a bit in this one.
Well, well, first, if you're not on this episode, what do you have to say to Andrew?
Andrew.
Just to explain, at the time, I was going to be in these a lot less, which is why we're making repeated references. Are you going to be there for this one? We're not sure. So that's that.
Oh my God. I wish I was there. You take some amazing photography. You do amazing photography. If anyone wants, if you like photography, just follow Andrew. Just follow him.
Oh, there you go.
He can plug himself, just if, for whatever reason.
See Andrew Nichols photos on Facebook.
On Instagram, it's just your...
On Instagram, it's just my name, which is Andrew_of_Nichols.
There you go.
But,
you enjoying the segment so far?
yes, I am. I'm very intrigued.
All right, and back into it.
He doesn't. Then I guess don't. But I would say he's phenomenal. He's a phenomenal photographer.
I stand by it.
Phenomenographer.
And also, if you are there, what do you have to say to Andrew?
Hey, I'll probably fist bump you or something.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Oh, your facial hair is looking really good right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Out of 10, what would you rank it?
Right now, it's a 7.8.
I stand by
you
that.
think there's room for improvement?
I mean, he has a little bit of crumbs in his.
Right now that's what he has.
Well, you told me to make something up, and then I'm making something up. Well, you didn't tell me to make something up, but that's what this whole thing is.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of.
I'm constantly making eyes at you to improv, Alex, improv.
All right. So how much time on the clock for Andrew?
I guess we're not doing any more bits beforehand. I guess we can do
7.5.
7.5. Is that what you have in your phone
7.5 of this, Andrew.
No.
All right.
Okay, we'll do
Buckle in.
7 and 35.
7:35. Started now.
Okay. So obviously, Andrew, very talented with the camera. Candrew.
Andrew, write it down. Write it down.
It would also just work for...
Andrew.
Which also works because
it's like your best kid.
His name is actually, Caleb, and his page is C. Andrew.
Candrew.
It's
not
Camdrew. Camera. Camdrew.
Camdrew.
I'm changing it to Camdrew.
Camdrew. What about photography?
Yeah.
Andrew.
A lot of these are photography based.
Photandrew.
Photandrew.
Fandrew? Fandrew.
What's the F in
Photography?
it's Fandrew with a PH?
Yeah, Fandrew with a PH. Photography.
Okay.
Photography.
But he's more than that. I want to be clear here.
Rafiki?
Okay.
From the Lion King?
Because photography, I don't know how I got to that one.
Rafiki. Okay. We're already coming up with more than we sometimes do. Andrew's a good friend. He's very compassionate. He feels deeply.
He does.
And he really takes a lot of care at single thing he does.
If he will talk to you, like if you have a problem, he's a, you go to him and he has just really good like advice,
Exactly.
You're wise.
It's just like
Advice, Andrew. Ask Andrew.
Oh, combine Andrew and advice, and you get Andrew. Can the Lil Nicky be Andrew?
What?
But spelled different.
Okay.
How would I think it can't be? Andrew, you either accept or decline Andrew as your Lil Nicky.
No, I got like some of the other ones we came up with. Rafiki was pretty good.
Okay, so I mean,
I just moved around a lot.
he's also we've said that he's very talented. He could be Tally.
Tally.
I could be Tally.
Debbie.
Yeah.
What about Tandrew?
Tandrew.
You know what? I feel like Drew is too easy. We need to take like the Ann.
What do you mean?
So like, because I feel like Drew, a lot of things go with Drew. You just throw anything in front of Drew. What if we we took the eel or the Ann from it or the
So should we let's break apart his name. We sometimes do that. And
Totally dissect my name.
Andrew. And ooh.
Anu. Get rid of the dra. Anu.
A new
Drew.
A new Drew.
A new Drew.
And okay.
Anuba. Anublia. Nebula.
Not writing that down.
Not to Nebula. Okay.
Oh, you're not gonna
Don't worry, we
that
have 4 minutes left.
There's 4 minutes of this
Okay, so
left.
I was gonna say.
So you take a photo. Okay.
Photogra.
Okay, not just that.
Gra.
Okay, but so you shoot a photo. You clicky.
Clicky.
Clicky, clicky. Okay, then.
Call it a clicky.
Fine. If we get one more nicknames, no more nicknames. If we get a 5th one, we have to whittle it down from those.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Rafiki.
Okay. Okay. So,
Rafiki.
he's okay. What else? What else?
Zoom.
Oh, we're gonna do
zoom.
camera stuff. Okay, zoom.
Well, you already did clicky.
Zoom. You can zoom. You can pan. Drew.
See, Drew goes with everything. What do we just call him, Drew?
I'm gonna call him Panda.
Panda?
Yeah, Pan Drew. Panda.
Panda.
Panda. Can work.
Panda? Is that what we're gonna use our 5th one on?
I don't think so.
Backtrack.
Okay. What? Okay. What else? What else? He's camera. Please speak into the mic more. Camera. Okay.
Andrew.
We really fixated on the camera.
Well, maybe something that's just very simple on his name.
You really use can.
That's why I want to go with Can or Ann. Just the Ann.
Annie.
Annie?
Little orphan. No, that could be orphan. But little
friend Andrew. Still our backup.
friend Drew.
It worked. But I don't want to use that. Boy.
Okay.
Settling in.
What's our
here.
5th one? What time do we have left?
We have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
This is going.
This is going.
So
He's compassionate. Compass.
compassion.
Compass? Of all the words, compass.
Anastasia. Andrew, compassionate, and then compassion.
I don't know. As we were listening to all of that, a new one came in my head. Cashew.
Click play.
Stick with our 4.
Okay, so we're gonna whittle it down from the 4.
Oh, we're whittling it down.
back
I got
off
to whittling it down.
What are the 4?
4 is Cam Drew.
Andrew.
Okay.
Rafiki.
Rafiki. Okay.
A new Drew. Clicky.
Okay, my two favorites are Rafiki and Clicky.
What?
Okay.
Rafiki. I said Rafiki.
So we're going to.
Rafiki's from Lion King, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to mark off Cam Drew
Oh,
and a new Drew.
okay.
Oh.
You know what? I really like Clicky.
Well, Rafiki doesn't make much sense, but also
Clicky.
as much sense as Colin and
these are-
Poseidon.
Oh, these are
And
references.
Tally, and I don't know what the fourth one was.
Oh, dude, what was the
What was Dakota's?
Oh, we had Dakota's.
Gotta have this right. Oh, Bermuda Triangle.
We have a minute to. Do we want to go with Clicky? Is Clicky going to be
Clicky.
Andrew?
Okay, you ready?
Your Lil Nicky is Clicky.
Kind of works. That kind of rhymes. Andrew, do you accept or decline? You little Nicky.
I accept.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So people can call you Clicky now.
Clicky. Okay.
Does that demean your profession at all to boil it
No.
down? Boil it down to just clicking a button?
No.
Okay, great.
I just Rafiki.
I don't know.
Of all the names, Rafiki.
Look,
You could have chosen like and Zoom.
and Zoom.
And
Yeah.
Zoom.
Yeah.
We didn't think of that one. Well, we got
Or that.
Rafiki.
Or raw Drew because I shoot in raw files.
Well, we try to. Move
Would you
away
want to
from
be
the
known as
Drews.
Raw Drew?
I mean, that sounds dirty. That's like a I don't know, a porn name or something. But like
So next time I come to next time I see you, maybe down out on the street, I come and visit you while you're at work, and I'm just like, is Mr. Clicky here?
they're gonna be like, please get out of the office.
I need to see Mr. Clicky right now.
Well, we won't. I don't know who Mr. Clicky is, but we'll call Mr. Security.
Let's say there's a world, right, that I happen to say this in front of the people you work with, and one of them is like, I really like that, and they start calling you, hey. Guys, we're gonna bring in Mr. Clicky. Would you?
Is it
be
Mr.
okay with-
Clicky or just Clicky?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
Clicky.
in a professional setting.
Yeah,
it's
professional
Mr.
setting,
Clicky.
Mr. Clicky.
Yeah.
If people were like, guys, we're gonna bring in Mr. Clicky to help demonstrate, some camera work. He's going to work like we're bringing in Mr. Clicky. He's going to do the lights for us. Would you be okay with that?
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
All right.
Mr.
Yeah.
Clicky.
If
So-
you're a coworker of Andrew's,
Hey, it clicks.
hey.
There you go.
Yeah, as you heard, we made some references to some other Lil Nickies in there.
As the kids say, it slaps.
It's a clap, but
Well, it slaps.
we'll give you a.
There you go. Well, that's good. So we get to call you Clicky now here and there. And I mean, I think if you're introducing Andrew during an award ceremony or
My dear friend Andrew Clicky.
And the Oscar goes to Mr. Clicky.
yeah. And then everyone just looks just sort of around, and then Andrew has to sigh and get up.
And they're
Yeah. Oh, Tim. I guess that's his nickname. So what would you, now you're walking up the stage, how would you address that? He's trying to hand you your Oscar. Okay.
Here you go, Clicky.
I'll be like, I cannot accept this. No, I'll be like, Clicky?
Oh, yeah, because he doesn't know.
And then I can plug our podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, well, everyone.
So wait. During the Oscar acceptance speech, you plug your own podcast
Yeah, you
that we record?
You take it away from him. You're like, oh, sorry. Yeah.
Let me explain the Clicky
Yeah.
joke. So go to.
There's 30 seconds on the clock
Yeah.
for the acceptance speech.
Yeah. You need to use he burns through all your time explaining the Clicky joke.
I can't explain to my parents who are in the crowd.
Music starts playing. Da, 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 da.
You're like, hey, Clicky, what the hell? So,
And then you take the award, Alex, and you have him engrave it and say it needs to say Clicky. It needs to say Clicky as the.
no, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get the award, and then there's gonna be like my name, and then he takes like a knife and just carves out my name and just writes Mr. Clicky.
like a middle schooler in class on the desk, just etching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Martin Scorsese's just like, oh, Mr. Clicky.
And that I guess we'll close out the segment, and that was Lil Nicky.
I like the music.
Oh, thank you. That brings up a good thing. Chrim has produced all of our music for Cade Friends podcast. Everyone give a round of applause for Chrim. Everyone give a round of applause. Oh, there we go. Oh, thank you, studio audience. Our studio audience are huge Chrim heads.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah.
They're holding up signs for God's sake.
But they quieted down.
Stop.
Yeah.
Or else Mr. Clicky will leave.
Oh, wow, they're so quiet.
Who let in the crickets? It all turned into crickets.
I'm looking at Robert De Niro right now.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
But yes, Chrim, look them up. They make great music. Chrim
Grim de la Creme.
de la Creme.
We didn't even have to ask Andrew to do that before the show. He just said that on his own. So we didn't have to work a way in to be like, wow, this music.
He genuinely thought it was good music.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
As Owen Wilson says.
Wow.
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 So, Andrew, would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I would say extrovert.
Really? You would? So you like being around people, and that's where you get your energy from?
I do. I wouldn't say all my energy comes from like being around people, but I like being around. I love being around people. I genuinely enjoy it. But I can have just as much as a good time on my own. Like, but if I had people with me, I think I'd have a better time.
Compassionate. Compandrew.
Oh, Compandrew? Companda?
Panda.
But no, like I get I like hanging out with people. I genuinely enjoy it.
That's nice.
And Alex is the biggest extrovert you could possibly find.
So
Really?
here's my thing.
How's that?
So upon reflection, I think
oh God, it's
Okay.
gonna be a whole thing. Shouldn't have.
you shouldn't have given me that.
I got to call my manager.
Giving him a talking
I
stick.
might be an introvert.
I got it. Alex, you're not an introvert.
No, Alex, you are in no way, shape,
I-
or form an introvert.
The only reason I say, because introverts get their energy, recharged by themselves. I recharge by myself.
I mean,
love
everybody.
being
I
around
mean,
my-
everybody does that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, everybody. But like, everybody. Whenever it comes to introverts and extroverts, like everybody needs to have time to themselves, and everybody has to have time to themselves because like being around people like all the time, I couldn't do that. Like whenever I'm in a social setting, like if somebody invites me to a party or trivia, I'll go. But like there's times when I just want to be by myself. And
I
that's
think-
totally okay. It's totally okay.
I find myself becoming more introverted as the years go on. And not like,
You're gonna
not that-
become like an old man who's like, get off my lawn, right?
I hope not. I always want to stay like, mostly extra because I am pretty extroverted, but it's just like, I find myself being more like, yeah, I'd rather stay inside by myself as I get older. And it could just be the conditions of the world right now that could be like contributing to that.
I mean, we don't, with the way the world is right now, we don't really have a choice.
Yeah. So, could just be that. Could just be that, I've done a lot more, working in amusement parks. I'm very much active and extroverted. And so maybe it's just kind of swapped, moved my pendulum over a little more.
Well, with what you do, it's very hard to be an introvert with the type of work that you're doing.
Yeah.
But there's also, the thing is,
Alex sits there and is like, I'm an introvert, which is why I work at amusement parks.
Well, I find myself having more introverted. Like, just as like, I'm obviously not an introvert, but I do find myself to be more.
As an introvert, I think it's a little bit offensive that you're trying to claim my culture.
I guess compared to you, I'm way more extrovert. But
my God.
I do find myself being more like, I just don't want to be around people, and it's more, I'm becoming more introverted, as the time goes on. Then,
I mean, you can there is such a thing as an introverted extrovert, and there's also such a thing as an extroverted introvert.
Okay, we're really getting into it here.
There is
an omnivert, if you will.
there is a. There you go.
I think Alex
They eat plants and meat. So, but no, like there's a dichotomy there because the thing is that like whenever you do you know, there's tons of people out there who just love being around people, but man, they just got to be by themselves. I'll tell you this right now, when it comes to vacations and whatnot, I could take vacations with people, but I have just as much good at a time when I go on vacation by myself. And I've been to New York several times by myself. I've been overseas by myself. I have no problem with it.
And I think that that's true because I think people have different things that they want to do on vacations. They have different like styles of what appeals to them, what they want to do on a vacation. And I 100% get doing that by yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, cause you don't have that, you know,
You're kind of working on your own schedule.
yeah.
Like, I mean, in the entire time I did that stuff, I'm always doing, I'm working on my own schedule. And the same even goes for my photography. Because whenever I'm out, like if I had people with me, I'd be just as happy, you know, because the thing is that like, I always think that shared experiences are the best experiences. So if like, this is a shared experience, so I'm having a good time right now. And I'm not just saying that, but the thing is that like, the thing is that whenever I'm out taking photos or doing something like that, I'm doing something creative, I tend to focus a little bit more on that. So it's like creativity. I don't want to say creativity is an introverted project because it works both ways, but especially if you're in the art of creating, you kind of have to be in that mode.
You know, I think that it's having worked where I've worked. I've worked at Disney and Cedar Point.
And a ski lodge.
And a ski lodge. And at Arby's. And at Bed Bath & Beyond, briefly.
Are we plugging them too?
Yeah, I mean, I like
Does Bed Bath & Beyond have a slogan? Hey, Google. What is Bed Bath & Beyond's slogan?
She's not going to answer you.
Hey, Google, what is Bed Bath & Beyond's slogan?
Home, happier. On the website adweek.com,
Home
they
happier?
say, as for the tagline, home, happier, in studies,
So
the retailer
stupid.
found that 70% of
Home happier?
home is a restaurant.
Yeah.
With 80% describing the home as a sanctuary, she explained, home is connected to how happy we are.
What the?
We're happy at home, we're happier overall.
I just hear the word home and happy over and over again. Okay.
Wow.
Home happier. Have you never seen that on the thing there?
No, I did not.
Is it like home?
Period.
No,
Home. Period.
Home, period, happier, period.
Home, comma, happier.
wait, is it really?
it is home happier.
You guessed comma. Well, I guess you're the Bed Bath & Beyond expert.
I feel like that doesn't make sense.
I worked there just to like in
I think
between.
the
seasons.
idea is that they would say that they make your home happier, right? That they make a happier home. Why isn't that their slogan? Make
You know
a
what?
happier home.
But that's
Bed
that.
Bath & Beyond, if you're watching.
Oh, let me get your camera. You're close up.
If you're watching Bed Bath & Beyond, happier home. We're willing to go into negotiations. We're willing to be we're willing to sponsor you.
Or make a happier home or something like that.
Make a happier home.
As long as I can have free merch for life.
I just want the really nice pillows they have.
I just want Christmas stuff and bakeware stuff. Ooh, give me bakeware stuff. Because I cook a lot.
If you sponsor
negotiations.
us,
I cook a lot.
you can have this slogan we just made up. If you send us bakeware stuff.
If you send us bakeware stuff, I will demonstrate my baking skills with that bakeware stuff.
And like a really nice pillow.
You know, given our slogan is just flipping their words that they already have.
We are home, happier with bakeware stuff.
You know, this was like being in marketing and everything. This was definitely a committee idea and it has been something that they thought about and they're like, should it be swapped or should it be? And it's been thought to death. And then ultimately they picked the wrong one. I think we can simply say that they went the wrong way.
I've just, home happier. If I presented that, I work at a school. So if I presented that to the English department, they would probably just chastise it.
Is there the possibility that they were going to go with a happier home, but it was already claimed by someone, so they had to do their backup plan?
It's swap it.
It's like, I don't know, but
so as I was saying,
Sorry, yes.
I've seen a lot of people. You need to go into your vacation with like some expectations because I've gone to Disney having worked there, I used to just be like, I needed to go with people. Like I could not do it by myself. And then I went there on a little vacation for like a day with one of my friends. And, you know, we both had our own like things we wanted to do. And we eventually just split off. And I learned the enjoyment of just being able to go by myself and just like kind of like, and I think everyone should do that. I think everyone should try it by themselves if they've never done it.
Oh, absolutely. Like I agree. Like going, cause like I've been to, I've done 2 vacations now with friends, and that means to anybody out there who's listening, I'm sure that doesn't mean anything to like them. Cause like people go on road trips all the time. I go on road trips. I take my friends with me, what have you. But the thing is that like, but like I've been on 2 vacations so far with friends where we went to Los Angeles and we went to Chicago, and we did things that we all mutually wanted to do. So like, and we did stuff that was very full. I mean, the entire time we were there, it's like we were just running. And yeah, we went to Disney one day, then we went to Warner Brothers, then we went to we went to a friend's house, blah, 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 blah. And we went to Hollywood and Vine. Then in Chicago, we went to just tons of museums. And then we went to, we went and saw Hamilton. Oh, and but no, the thing is that when it comes to going on vacations, I think going on a vacation with people is great. It's always a shared experience. It's always a shared experience. And some of the funniest stories, I think, really do come from shared experiences. So there is, I mean, but when you go by yourself, especially to a place that you really want to go to and you've never been before, it creates a sort of spirituality. I would say. I
also think like, you know, don't be afraid to like split your party up and go off on your own.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that adds, cause you know, meeting, you know, being like, okay, what are the things that we both want to do? You know, I'll use Magic Kingdom, for example, because I know it. You know, maybe everyone wants to ride Space Mountain, but I want to go get myself a pretzel.
No.
I love pretzels. But
was that a no to pretzels or no to Space Mountain?
No to Space Mountain.
Oh, I love Space Mountain.
You don't like Space Mountain?
Oh, absolutely not.
So, Andrew, if you and I
like
went,
Space Mountain.
Okay, so if the 3 of us went, Cade and I want to go to Space Mountain, and you don't.
Yeah.
So Cade and I could go ride Space Mountain.
Well, first off, before we went off to go to see Space Mountain, I would want to know why Andrew does not like Space Mountain.
Oh, I do have a story about Space Mountain. Whenever I was 6 years old, I went to
it's a traumatic story.
Yeah, when I was 6 years old, I took a family vacation to Los Angeles, and I think like the second day we were there, we went to Disneyland, and I was ecstatic. I couldn't be happier to go there. But to be honest with you, my time at Disneyland was very traumatic.
We're running. I need to get to Space Mountain, so this story needs to be quicker.
Okay,
about why you don't like it.
Space Mountain was the very first ride that we went on, and like I thought in my 6-year-old brain, I naively thought that it was just like a brief trip through the cosmos, and we were just
an actual trip to the cosmos.
Yeah, just like an actual trip to the cosmos, and we were just going to explore all the planets and everything else. What I didn't know was that it's a roller coaster in the dark.
It's a dark coaster, as they say.
Like just before we went there, we ate a very, very, very good and very tasty breakfast. And when
was it one of the Mickey waffles?
I think it was one of the Mickey waffles, but like I remember just getting in there, and we got in and it took off, and it scared me shitless.
Well, you go through a tunnel, right?
You go through a tunnel, and then, you know, just like blinking lights, and then all of a sudden you're just in the cosmos. You are literally just in a wormhole of whatever. And my dad, who was sitting on the end, told me that he lost his breakfast. And like, and then we got back, and my dad looked at me and he said, "Son, that's enough ride picking for you for one day." And I said, "Yes, Daddy, I'll never do it again. I'm sorry." So I
Do you like roller coasters, Andrew?
Not after that experience, I didn't.
See, I don't. I must say that didn't sway me. I'm still going on to Space Mountain.
I mean, go on Space Mountain. Now that I'm older, I'll be like, well, you know what? I'll try it. I don't care.
Okay, we have forced Andrew to go to Space Mountain with us. Woo! Vacation good.
But the thing is that my time at Disneyland, whenever I was 6, was not a good one.
But yeah,
Okay, I want to go down a rabbit hole here, if you would allow me.
All right.
I don't like roller coasters in general. I don't like them. I'm fearful of I get fearful that my glasses are going to fall off. Or I'm going to lose something out of my pockets. I get fearful that I don't know. It heightens this inside. I know, but what do I going to put my wallet in the locker? I can't put my glasses in the locker.
You could.
Well, then I couldn't see what's happening.
Wait. So how do you get in the locker? Is it is it a combination or is it a key?
So typically with the lockers, it's like you'll pay for the locker and it'll give you put in a PIN number. So you could just
you pay for the locker each one.
It depends on where you're at. Some places have like Cedar Point has paid lockers for some of their rides, and you just buy and put a PIN in. Universal, I think, has free lockers for their rides that require a locker. Disney, most of their rides aren't really big enough to be and if they do, they have pouches for you to put your stuff in. But for the glasses, you can just buy a little strap that goes around and you can.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think about that problems until I'm right there at the highest thing, and then it's just, and also I just don't like them. I just don't like it. I don't like it, but I love kind of slower roller coaster. I like indoor roller coasters a lot. Because it's I get them. They're a little bit more height. They're a themed thing. So I love Dark Coaster. I love Space Mountain for that reason, because you don't see how high you are. You don't see what you're doing. And I like a Pirates of the Caribbean where it's a dark ride. I just like a lower kind of thing. I like those rides. And I like things with themes and stuff. That's what you go for. But Space Mountain. I still have something else about Space Mountain. So I love Space Mountain, but someone told me the story that I knew that and I've heard a few other people have this story because I thought that's maybe where your thing was going, that would sort of ruin Space Mountain. And that was halfway through the ride sort of breaks down and the lights come on.
Oh.
And so you kind of get the whole thing ruined for you because it's just this indoor roller coaster with just here's a little light that's just rotating and that's supposed to be a comet or whatever. And so it does kind of ruin the ride a bit if that happened.
I have had that happen to me before.
Where you've stopped, had a ride stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was at where I was, it was at Universal. We went to the Harry Potter ride. It was the first thing that we did whenever we got there. And this was with...
It's the flight of the hippogriff. Is that one?
Yeah, that. It's not... It was like that 3D, that half 3D, half live action thing. And I'm here. I'm in between here with two of my friends because they're only 3 ride... They're only
Are you in a car? I haven't been. Are you in a car? Are you hanging? What are you?
You are. You are hanging.
It's not Flight of the Hippogriff. It's the
duel of something, right?
It's
the
Quidditch
thing.
The Quidditch one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what happens is that it's in a side because you're doing this.
Okay.
So
yes, Quidditch.
Yeah, and the thing is that while you're there, you're going on this ride, and it's a mixture between live action and live action 3D.
Okay, yeah.
Live action 3D motion. And it's really, really coordinated. It's really, really cool. Well, is it kind of like Soarin' California? Is it like that sort of thing where it's all screen?
No, you're in your own little you're in your own little pod. 3 people at a time can be in it, and you're in your own pod, and it does it takes you through, and then it'll take you to a screen kind of like Soarin', where you'll be there, and then it'll take you back. You'll do so
it's outdoor, indoor sort of thing, right?
It's not outdoor.
It's not outdoor.
Yeah,
so
it's all of this is completely indoor.
But it takes you to a screen, and then it moves you, and then you'll see a Dementor, not on a screen, and then it'll take you to another screen.
Oh, okay.
And so it's various screens and various live action.
Yeah, so you'll you're playing. What you're doing is playing a game of Quidditch, and then all of a sudden,
are you high off the ground though, or you're just kind of
you're off the ground. Your legs are floating. But what happened was that as we got, there was a part of the ride where we were going up, and at one point we were laying down. Mm-hmm. And what happened was that the ride just completely stopped, and then said, "We're experiencing technical difficulties right now. Please remain calm while we fix the error." And that message would just repeat. And
how long were you up there?
Oh, maybe about, I don't know, probably about maybe a minute or two. It wasn't very long, but it was long enough to like,
oh no.
Yeah, like this is not normal.
So there are times I've learned, and I don't know what Universal's policies are, but sometimes on some of those rides, I've been told that, so depending on if they're things.
Yeah.
Depending if they're like wheelchair accessible, or accessible in that way. Sometimes they'll slow down the ride or they'll stop the ride if they're having like trouble for people getting on or off the ride.
That is true.
They have to move stuff.
Because I know that ride in particular, you like they're hustling you in there.
Yes.
Like they just like, because it's still moving. They're like getting people out and they're like, all right, you three get in that one right now.
And so it's very possible that someone just needed more time to get out or get into the ride. Possible someone maybe just tripped and they just had to stop the ride and they just had to. So
okay.
if it's only like a minute or two,
Possible someone tripped.
yeah, I mean, I
Fell in the controls. Whoa.
Yep. They fell into the spider pit. Well, they're part of the spider pit. I will say this, like there was a point in time during the ride, I won't spoil it too much, but the thing is that you'll see like a giant spider raise up and it actually like spits water at you. And that's part of the ride. And when the ride stopped, I felt sorry for the people who were in front of that spider because man, oh man, I don't like spiders, but if I was in front of that would make me arachnophobic. I would have nightmares forever.
No, you're right. There's a couple of scenes in that.
There's someone we know who is scared of spiders.
There is. That is an Adrian callback.
That's a foreshadowing, I guess.
Foreshadowing, yes.
It's foreshadowing.
All right. You don't like spiders.
Well, Adrian did it.
Adrian does it, yeah.
Okay.
But so the point of all this I was saying, and then I guess we should move into our next segment, is that I've seen families come into different places and, some people they're really big roller coaster people and some people really want to just enjoy the park. And people don't split off enough, I don't think. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Go do your own thing and meet up every like hour or two. Go your own separate ways and then meet back up after an hour or two. Just like, don't feel like you have to all do everything you each want to do, everyone together. Because that causes fights and that causes, a non-fun time.
Yeah, I agree with that because that can get really just, there were times, not in the times whenever I went with my friends, but like there were times maybe with my own family, I'm just like, this is not something that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like
The teacups ride.
The teacups ride. I never went on the teacups ride because that looked like it was going to make me sick.
For me, I would wait 20 minutes for a Mickey pretzel, and Cade absolutely would not.
You would wait 20 minutes for a pretzel you could get anywhere?
I've done it before, and I would do it again.
Wait, why? Why would you wait 20 minutes?
It's a Mickey pretzel, and I love pretzels.
You would wait.
Okay, it was actually more like 15 minutes, but that's not much better. But yes, I have waited for 15 minutes for a pretzel at Disney.
I just want a Mickey waffle.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys doing like next week?
Are you going to treat us to a trip to Disney World?
I can't afford that.
Well, don't tease us like that, Alex.
Disney.
My God,
If Disney would like to sponsor a trip, though,
they're not going to sponsor us a trip.
we can take Andrew to Space Mountain. He hasn't been there since he was 6.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That was 30 years ago.
Cade can ride his favorite ride, Space Mountain.
Well, that's not my favorite ride. I mean, like I like Pirates. I like older, like, that's why
Country Bears.
I like Country Bears Jamboree. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know what I would like the most.
But the saddest thing about that trip was that I didn't. The one person I wanted to meet was Mickey.
Disney or something.
And I looked around so hard for Mickey, and I'm telling my mom, I want to see Mickey. I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna go anywhere until I see Mickey. I saw Mickey for like 10 seconds, and he walked back and he disappeared, and I never saw him again. And man, oh man, did that make me sad.
I think
he's just
like
too
that.
busy.
I actually cried.
He's running a corporation.
So Disney, if you're listening, you owe me a trip to Disneyland.
Or you could just send Mickey here to shake
Or
hands.
just send Mickey here.
If
I don't
he can
care.
fit that into his busy schedule.
Yeah,
if he's
because
passing through or something.
you made this boy cry at your theme park.
Let me get you your close up here.
You made this boy cry at your theme park. Cry.
Great.
And
I
on
think that
that note,
perfectly
yeah.
wraps it up. We're gonna jump into our next segment called Movie Smoothie.
Oh, there.
That's Movie Smoothie. Welcome to our segment, Movie Smoothie. The way that this segment works, let me get my close up. The way this segment works is pretty simple. We take a few different movies. We have made a list beforehand of some movies, random movies. We don't know what the other people picked. We're going to go through here and we're going to put these movies in a blender and make a smoothie, Movie Smoothie. That was the thought process behind that name. And it's going to be like, blank meets blank. And, that actually is what a lot of things are sold as now, as like, here's this movie meets this movie. And, it's as simple as that. Did you ever see the movie Freaky? With Vince Vaughn? He was like a
no, and I've wanted to.
And that was essentially Freaky Friday meets Friday the 13th, which is why they called it Freaky. And so they make movies like that now, where it's just like some sort of genre film that they've combined two different things. And it was not a bad movie. It was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it. Vince Vaughn was great in that. Okay. Well, that brings us to this. I guess we'll do our first one. There's 3 people here, so it might be a little bit weird, but we're going to try to blend it together, and then we'll work through how this works. So, Alex, you want to take your first one, and then Andrew take his first one.
I did want to
say your movies into the thing. 1, 2.
Wreck-It Ralph,
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Okay. Seems simple enough.
Hey, what is yours?
What are we combining? Then we'll eliminate one, right? We'll work.
Yeah, we'll eliminate.
So we'll eliminate one. So my first one was the Santa Claus. So all Disney properties.
All right, there we go.
Wow.
So this works really well.
What was yours?
Mine was Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay,
Ralph.
all right.
So what do you think would be a good combination here? So let's see. A Wreck-It Ralph meets Pirates of the Caribbean. What would that be?
So
I'm sure the Disney Corporation is currently working on these right now.
yeah, and I hope we get like a cut of the film because we want that.
So which one? Okay, Curse of the Black.
It's the first one.
The very first one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then very presumptive of them to give it a subtitle before they.
Before they actually made it into a series.
Yeah.
It's kind of like X versus Sever, Chapter 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or what that was Master and Commander? Didn't it have like a subtitle?
Yeah, because there's 13 books, and it was Master and Commander to the Far Side of the World, and there were
fingers crossed we're going to get this franchise.
Yeah, and 10 years later they were just like, are they going to make another one? They're like, no, we're not.
So I think the way we go about this is, if we're just doing the 2 movies, it's either Wreck-It Ralph and Santa Claus or Pirates and Santa Claus. I don't think Pirates and Wreck-It Ralph.
Wait a minute. What if Ralph was a pirate?
Yeah.
So Pirate Ralph.
Yeah. Or they installed a Pirates of the Caribbean game or a pirate themed game.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he has to go in there and be a pirate. I don't know, one of them. I never saw the second Wreck-It Ralph, so I don't know where that's good. Where does it end? Where's the lore at that point? Are they
Vanellope, I think, spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure becomes a racer in a different game. Like Vanellope joins another game. And
wasn't that the end of the first one?
No. Vanellope became the queen
of a racing game.
Of her own game. But she joins a different racing game because she wanted a more high, dangerous game, I think.
Okay.
Well,
are we talking about Wreck-It Ralph?
Yes, the second one. We're going off to.
We were talking about Wreck-It Ralph, but I was trying to. This is. I mean, if this could be a sequel. I mean, like we could take. The great thing about this, we could take the spirit of these movies, or we can take the literal characters from these movies. Well, so the spirit of these movies could be. You could just combine Wreck-It Ralph and Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's a movie that takes place inside of a pirate video game.
Well, I was just thinking, how would it be funny if the Santa Claus, he's been Santa over the past 1,000
So
years.
Tim Allen Santa Claus.
Tim Allen Santa Claus. Tim Allen, I don't know. Does he live forever in the Santa Claus? Like, is that part of being?
It's a good question. The lore is a little bit murky. I mean,
Because if
you're
he does-
Santa Claus until you're murdered, right?
You know what? Yeah, that we so in the other podcast that I'm in, which is so many sequels, I'm plugging that by the way.
Okay.
So the thing is that in the Santa Claus, yeah, technically, if that Santa Claus dies, technically you have to assume the role of Santa Claus.
Yeah. And this could be like a serial killer. John Wayne Gacy could have become Santa Claus.
Yeah, which would have been absolutely awful.
No, that's a sequel I would like to see. Like a serial killer kills Santa Claus, and then he's like, "Well, I guess he's turned morphing into Santa Claus." And he's like, "Okay, I guess this is my job. I'm gonna take advantage of being a magical being
while killing people along the way."
People, yeah.
What if he was Dr. Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, it could be like a Silence of the Lambs meets.
What if he
Santa Claus?
What if he ate Santa Claus?
What if he ate Santa Claus?
Anyway.
But so if you take them back though, like if you take just the spirit of the movie, Santa Claus,
Santa Claus,
the Santa Claus,
yeah.
Santa's been Santa for like a couple thousand years. It's now Pirates of the Caribbean time, and
wait. You mean? Wait, are you saying this is in the past?
Spirit, yeah, I'm taking the spirit of the Santa Claus. This is before Tim Allen's Santa Claus.
It's a prequel.
It's a prequel, but like the Santa Claus becomes a pirate.
Okay,
or Jack Sparrow kills
Santa Claus and becomes Santa Claus.
So you're saying Jack Sparrow becomes Santa Claus?
Yeah, I think that's a great. That's it. So this is Pirates of the Caribbean 5, 6, whatever we're on.
7
or
12.
12. Pirates of the Caribbean 12.
There we go.
And Johnny Depp.
They go to the
Jack Sparrow. Santa Claus crash lands in Tortuga or whatever, and he's happened to be there, getting drunk or whatever. Or no, and so he accidentally kills. Or Santa Claus walks in, or I don't know. Somehow Santa Claus is dead by Jack Sparrow.
Jack accidentally shoots him with a cannon.
Yes.
So here's what I'm thinking. Like, Jack Sparrow decides to go to the North Pole. And in the North Pole,
on one of those maps. We come up with a stupid story.
Like they found like a magical turtle or something like that. And there's a map on the magical turtle's back.
Yes.
And the thing is that like they end up in the North Pole, and it turns out to be that there's this magical being there with all these elves, and they're just like, who are all these elves, and where's the rum? And then like when they get there,
I love how they knew that they were elves.
Yeah. Who makes all these? And like while they're there,
what are these toys.
Well, what are these little things? And do you have rum? And
I think you have some tragic backstory that Jack Sparrow never really had Christmas because there's this whole thing about his parents. His father was Keith Richards, and that wasn't easy.
Nope, it sure wasn't.
And Keith Richards is still alive, according to at the point of filming this, and so he could very much appear again in our thing. Keith Richards is going to live forever, I think.
Yep, as long as he gets Botox.
So we have two great options: either Santa Claus crashes and gets killed by Jack Sparrow, or Jack goes to the North Pole. Either way, I think it's a prequel and a sequel. It's a sequel for Pirates and a prequel for the Santa Claus because
it's a prequel to both, right? No, it's a sequel to Pirates.
It's a sequel to Pirates
and a prequel.
Jack Sparrow becomes Santa Claus, and that's the Santa Claus you retcon it in that Tim Allen Santa Claus accidentally knocks down.
So you're going to say that Jack Sparrow has been the pirate Santa Claus and up until 1990, whatever he was.
Yeah.
So that's
through all from whatever Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, let's ask. Hey Google, when does the Pirates of the Caribbean movies take place?
On the website imdb.com, they say, when making Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, the scriptwriters revealed that they placed the story in a 30-year environment set loosely between 1720 and 1750.
That was very accurate.
1750.
So yeah, 350 years. He's been Santa Claus.
He's been Santa Claus. But so okay.
The Pirate Claus.
I feel like we need to. That would be the title, right?
That would be
Pirate Claus.
The Pirate Claus.
Pirate Claus, The Curse of Wreck-It Ralph.
The Santa Claus, the Pirate Claus. Because isn't like they all have, like there's the Escape Clause and there's the Mrs. Claus, yeah.
So yeah, and I think that's a great prequel. And then it ends obviously with Tim Allen going, "Hey, what are you doing up there?" or whatever he says.
Yeah.
So it gives a respectable end.
But there's no room for sequels on this franchise, and that wouldn't happen in today's world.
No, there wouldn't. Nobody has room for sequels anymore. Studios just won't buy it.
If they won't, if you wrap it up too neatly, it has to end with the ... So I think you don't say that he was the one,
or with a the end question mark.
Or maybe he helped Santa. Maybe Santa's just sick, so he's like he has to take the Black Pearl to all the children. in the ocean.
I would like to think that throughout all the sequels now to Pirates of the Caribbean, you had to have Jack Sparrow walking around in Santa garb. I think that's good. I think that's good. Well, I think we nailed that one. Do we have what's your second one, Alex? In rapid succession.
Independence Day.
Hang on, I'm looking at mine. Casablanca.
The Wizard of Oz.
No.
So what was yours?
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
So aliens have come to Earth,
Uh-huh.
wanting to destroy all mankind. And Casablanca is
Well, Casablanca takes place during like a war.
Yeah.
A war. Generic war. No, it was a world war, as if you will. And I think like you could set Casablanca now in the alien invasion.
yeah. Like I mean, the aliens are coming here. The aliens are coming here invading, and Rick has to get his girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend and
Yes.
and her husband, boyfriend, whoever that is, out of Casablanca.
Yeah. I think that's it.
And the aliens are Nazis.
I mean, hypothetically, you could set Casablanca could really be anywhere. You could set it more like in a he has a bar in where the aliens attack. It was New York and DC, right?
Yeah, they attack New York,
All the
DC,
big
and
cities.
Los Angeles.
And then I think they hit all the like London, I'm sure, and like all the other
Well,
places.
really, just America. That's the most important because it's our Independence Day.
Yeah, because
No, it's everyone's Independence
Yeah,
Day.
you're right. They'll
pretty
cry
much.
out in one voice that it's our Independence Day. Yeah.
well, no, we won't go quietly into the night.
Wait, so what was your movie, Cade? Oh, Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
It's a tough one to figure out. What would Wizard of Oz with aliens be?
Well, like, does she click her heels and then she's actually an alien the entire time?
Well,
so, like
well-
an alien gets taken to like Kansas, an alien gets caught up in a tornado and is taken to.
Well,
Well, she clicks her heels and then she's in the movie Independence Day.
well, boy, that would be a bleak. God, we just took a dark turn. No, like I think it like what I'm thinking is that aliens are coming to Earth, and Rick and his wife. Rick, his girlfriend, and her husband are all trying to get back to Kansas.
Oh, all three of them.
Yeah, and there's only room enough on the plane for two, so Rick decides to stay behind. But then they said, like, "Here, use my slippers," and then Rick clicks his slippers, and he's back in Kansas.
Okay, so that's the Casablanca Wizard of Oz
Yeah,
one. Okay.
but you know,
With an imminent alien.
with an imminent alien invasion right behind them.
Yeah.
because Kansas is safe. Everybody knows that.
Let's go. I don't think that this is as solid footing. Let's move on to our third one here.
All right.
If you at home have any ideas for how these could maybe be a better movie, put them in the comments below.
Yes, or send us an email at cadefriends@gmail.com.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
Alien.
I put Ghost, the movie Ghost.
Whoa.
I was up because I had that up
Yeah,
here on my
that-
shelf.
That's heavy, Doc.
Well, what if I like Alien meets Ghost? That's fun. Like there's something there. I think.
I've never seen Ghost.
You've never seen Ghost?
Nope.
Okay, well, briefly explain Ghost to him.
So Ghost is about
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze is a banker. He's a very successful banker living in New York City, and then what happens is that him and his girlfriend, who he wants to be his wife,
Demi Moore.
is what's his name? What's his name in the movie?
Ghost.
No, not Ghost.
What you saying?
Sam Wheat. Sam gets killed on the way home, and what happens is that Sam becomes a ghost. His spirit
Patrick
is
Swayze,
still,
by the way.
yeah, Patrick Swayze. He's reincarnated as a ghost, and he's living on Earth as a ghost, and he's having to endure everything as a ghost. And he finds out that along the way, he was not
Goldberg's in this movie.
yeah. So what?
Whoopi Goldberg's in this movie.
Whoopi Goldberg is in this movie. He finds a medium who is Whoopi Goldberg, and they later find out that Sam, Patrick Swayze's character, wasn't accidentally killed. He was actually murdered
Oh my goodness! It's also a love story between him and Demi Moore, who's alive, and there's a pottery scene that everyone talks about.
And
Did Whoopi Goldberg win the Academy Award for this?
she did win Best Supporting Actress, and it also won Best. It was nominated for Best Picture that year. It was a very popular film. But no, I'm not going to explain anymore because you need to watch it.
Wow.
Like you need to watch it, and since Valentine's Day is coming up, why not watch it on Valentine's Day?
There you go. And that dates us a little bit, but yes. Valentine's Day 2023 is coming up.
if any of you young people out there want to watch a very good film with very good actors and a very good story, and you want a love story on top of that, you got Ghost.
Thank God we didn't give any spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it anymore for you. So,
Okay, so Ghost, and you were thinking...
What was yours again?
Mine was Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
So
Ghost, Alien, Harry Potter. So,
Well, I like an alien's loose on Hogwarts.
yeah,
what
A
if?
xenomorph is
So what?
on Hogwarts.
So what if, like, if it was at Hogwarts, if the story takes place at Hogwarts, and then Harry gets killed by a xenomorph,
Combine all these. Okay, good.
and he has to like warn the people somehow that there's a xenomorph running around at Hogwarts.
Yeah, which should be pretty simple. Ghosts walk around Hogwarts all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
that
probably
kind of
don't
writes
even-
itself.
Yeah, they probably don't even think anything.
Kind of writes itself why there's an alien.
Yeah.
I do think that a close quarter like this, so it's like set during like the Christmas when most people are out, right? And they like, oh, I think there's something out there.
So this is like a mid sequel, like
A midquel.
midquel. Yeah. So like
There's
this,
only a few of those.
This is like a Christmas, like the Star Wars Christmas special.
We will not talk about
Oh, okay.
that.
This is the Harry Potter Christmas special. It's set during one of the years. They digitally de-age the actors, and they're like, this is what happened during one of the Christmas things, is there was a xenomorph that comes in, and they're having to fight the alien with magic, which it should be easy, right? Would that be hard?
It'll be Ron and Harry.
Yeah. Wouldn't get my doll, you
One
know.
accent.
What if their wand breaks? I don't know. Something, yeah.
It
Something.
explodes or something like.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens.
I don't know what happens. What happens? The acid gets on it and it burns.
Yeah.
Burns the wand.
And then we can.
Oh no. Oh no.
I think that's the way we do
I
it.
think that's good.
Oh no.
And what would they? I would find it very interesting. Like these people obviously believe in magic because they are magicians. They're wizards and witches. Are they called witches?
Witches.
But I don't know. It would be interesting to be like, but aliens? I know that's a bridge too far.
What if they all?
Hermione does not believe in aliens.
They call her up and she's like, "No,
Does she stay there during Christmas breaks?
I don't think so." Does she?
Well, why did Ron stay during Christmas break?
To stay with Harry.
Well, why
He's a good
didn't
friend.
Harry just go back to the Weasleys?
I think he does later on, but I think at this point he didn't.
Okay, what if it's instead of Harry dying? What if it's Ron Weasley dying, and he's trying to warn Hermione that Harry is a bad guy?
Like Harry's the murderer.
Oh. And this is all just like in the end we find out it's a dream, Hermione's dream, because she misses them
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
and her romantic feelings towards Ron.
Or like, how about you take Moaning Myrtle, and
This is how
she's the
Moaning Myrtle
ghost.
died.
Yeah, that's how Moaning Myrtle died. Exactly.
Exactly.
It's a prequel for Moaning Myrtle.
Yes. And then she's trying to cross on or something. She's like, I've been a ghost for too long. I need to find my murderer. There you go. Or whatever.
Should we do one more?
One more?
Yeah. Let's do one more.
Pick whatever your best one is out of the last two that you got.
Okay. I've decided I'm going to change
really
my
just-
last one.
Okay.
So.
It really just depends on like what you guys give.
Okay, you want to go last, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do yours first, Andrew?
Yeah. Fight Club.
Fight Club. Okay, a very popular one here. I'm going to go Air Force One.
My choices are between Marley and Me and Jurassic Park.
You can't do Marley and Me because we've done
Yeah.
that. So Jurassic
Park.
So,
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, Fight Club, Air Force One.
I've never
Sound like
seen,
we created the greatest movie of all time.
Yes, we sure did.
What is Air Force One?
Air Force One, Harrison Ford is president of the United States, okay?
Okay.
This is 1990s Harrison Ford.
Okay.
He's he's there's something with the Russians. I don't know if there's a whole thing there.
Yeah, there's a whole sub story with Russians, but it involves a Russian terrorist group.
Yes, they want someone released from prison or whatever. But anyways, they hijack Air Force One. Gary Oldman is the main bad guy,
who is great in it.
Great in it.
That movie holds up very well.
Besides for a few different CGI effects, but yes,
sure, yes,
but it's an amazing movie otherwise.
Yes, it is.
I think people sleep on Air Force One. It is great,
and they shouldn't because it's amazing.
So Russians hijacked Air Force One.
Yes,
Correct.
Russians hijack Air Force One, and they're like taking people hostage, and they're trying to find the president. The president is loose. Harrison Ford is like kind of like rummaging around, and he's trying to hide, and he's trying to fight off and get people. William H. Macy's like the pilot. There's a few people in it before they were famous.
Yeah.
And then Glenn Close is the vice president, and she's like trying to. She's like. They're calling her, and she's trying to man the security council or whatever, the defense people, and they're like, "We need you to sign off and change like the powers where you become president and make these decisions." She's like, "No, Harrison Ford's on that plane, and he's the president," and all that stuff.
I feel like that was not the right answer.
Well, he can handle himself. He's the president that gets stuff done. He fights off these terrorists.
Have you not seen that either?
Nope.
Well, daggum.
Well, it's right there.
We need to. So here's what we need
Plug
to
it
do.
in.
We need to have a reaction video for him watching Air Force One.
It sounds.
Yes,
that
that is going to be a series.
Is there
in the
a
movie.
scene where he has a gun and he shoots some terrorists?
Oh,
yeah.
there's multiple scenes of that.
Okay, then I may have seen like bits and pieces of it.
The greatest, the end. He has the line that everyone knows and everything, and you don't want to spoil it.
No, you'll.
So does that mean dinosaurs?
Yeah, so dinosaurs get loose on Air Force One.
Yeah. Or is the president invited to Jurassic Park to see it before it opens?
Oh.
So which one is better
Yes,
there?
that one. I think that one makes the most sense.
Yes.
So, yeah, okay. So
They closed down. Maybe this is Jurassic World, it was, or whatever. They closed down the park because the president's visiting, and he's coming there with his family and with a few. Like he has to have people there because he's gonna. It's also a work vacation because he's the president. He has to do work things. So you
Couple
have
cabinet members.
couple cabinet members. You know everything. We digitally de-age Glenn Close and Harrison Ford to be there.
Wait, what was your movie?
Air Force
No, what
One.
was your movie? Sorry.
my movie was Fight Club, and I'm really curious as to how we're going to fit this in.
So the president also is part of an underground fight club.
Because he does that in his spare time.
Yeah.
I think if we couldn't include Fight Club, I think this movie, like this is a perfect Jurassic Park like sequel.
Yeah.
Or
I've always thought, if you want to hear my great movie idea, I think that they should make an Air Force 2. I think it's great. I think and you have I think what you have, there was a episode of West Wing in which it was, I don't know if you ever watched West Wing. But it was a great premise of like they were going to a funeral of one of the presidents. And one of the past presidents died. Okay.
Yeah.
And so all the presidents are on Air Force One traveling to this funeral. And so all the living presidents are on this plane. And it's just sort of about them talking about their policies and how they differed and all that stuff. That's what the episode is of West Wing. It's a great episode. But you set that now, all these former presidents are on this plane and terrorists hijack that. I think that's great. And you have other different old action stars and modern day ones now being presidents of the United States trying to fight off these terrorists that have claimed Air Force 2.
What if the terrorists were part of Project Mayhem?
Maybe that's
Well, I was going to say, what if like the president, in order to become president, you have to win like the Fight Club?
that's how we select presidents, actually.
Well, yeah, that's actually how we do it now. It's not too far from the truth.
There's a lot of really good ideas.
There's
with
an
this.
underground cabal, and that's how they know who's running for president. Yeah.
And just the first one to stop breathing wins,
You
I
know,
guess.
I really like Universal. If you're watching, president goes to Jurassic Park. It's been revamped again. Great time, and dinosaur gets out, eats like maybe the vice president or something.
Sorry, Glenn Close. You don't get to continue on to the sequel.
No, we didn't have enough money in the budget for you, Glenn Close. So enjoy your peanuts.
And it's just like a couple other people, and it's
it creates a national emergency.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh my God,
the president and vice president are.
They're like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to contain it? They bring in the military. It goes catastrophe of that, and it's a whole thing.
Then the new president, like the acting president, because the current president is disposed and the vice president has been eaten, is like, we have to drop a nuclear bomb because he's gone power hungry.
Who's going power hungry?
The designated survivor.
Oh, they're at Washington and they're like, I want to become president.
And the best way to do that is to kill everyone.
Maybe this was their plan the entire time.
Yeah, they were like,
they're the one that organized and like put in the president's ear. Hey, you need to go to Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Universal.
And it was like the president was Tyler Durden.
Yes, sorry, we keep forgetting the Fight Club.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just bringing it back to Fight Club because that was my choice.
Yes,
but like, no, the thing is that like it turns out that like,
I have it.
Here's an idea.
Yes.
He's
I have the best
please.
idea.
What is it?
So the president is there, and he makes his way through Jurassic Park, and he finds this underground Fight Club dinosaur, and he joins the dinosaur Fight Club in order to win his freedom. So he makes a deal with the dinosaurs.
And to win the trust of the
like
dinosaurs.
Blue's there, like Blue is like, hey, Blue, I'll fight all the way up to the T-Rex.
This is 1990s Harrison Ford saying this. Hey, you Blue, I'm gonna fight you here.
And that's how he gets out.
wait.
And
You killed my wife, Blue.
he has to fight these dinosaurs and get out of Jurassic Park before the designated survivor drops the bomb on Jurassic Park.
Yes, I think that's it.
Great.
Done and done.
And that has been Movie Smoothie.
Phenomenal.
Great. Do you speaking of aliens, do you believe in aliens, Andrew?
I do.
Okay. You ever seen an alien UFO?
No,
No.
I really had to think about that one for a second.
Anything?
No.
Any paranormal things?
Do you believe in ghosts?
Ghosts.
I do believe in ghosts.
Have you ever had a paranormal activity?
Am I?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
In the auditorium.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's a good segue to the auditorium.
That is a good segue. So let me just tell
Sorry
you.
to speak for you, but you definitely do. You have told me these.
Yes, I have several ghost stories that I have encountered several times, and it's the latest one, the last one was about I would say about 4 years ago. I think was when it happened because it was when that you and I were working. It was when that you and I were working on Steel Magnolias.
Mm.
So what happened was
Alex played Trudy.
I played Weezer.
That'd make a great Weezer.
I probably would, but like the thing is that like. What happened was that I worked tech and I was there early. And what happened was that I saw a headless figure, and that is not a joke.
Where in the auditorium you saw that?
I was standing on stage. I saw the headless figure in the lobby, and
The doors are open, right?
the doors are open, the lights on. It's probably like 4 PM. The building is completely locked because I'm the only one who has a key, and
Wait, the doors are open?
the doors are locked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The doors are open to the lobby, so you can see into the lobby.
Yeah, like the auditorium itself is locked, but the
Okay,
inside
but
is-
the outside doors.
Yeah, because how would you see the lobby if the doors were closed?
No, yeah, you're
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what happened was that like I was there and I looked over and I saw it was a headless figure, and it had no head, it had no shoulders, but it had arms because I saw the arms swinging, and it walked in front of the lobby, in front of the bathroom door, and down the stairs. I remember that very specifically.
Okay, where it walked down. How did it walk?
It just walked in front of the staircase and then it disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it going in the men's restroom or the women's restroom?
It was going past the men's restroom.
Okay, so it's going to the.
We really are getting a knowledge of how this works, but
Well, we know the auditorium. So
Yeah, I mean, so for those of you who don't know about our auditorium lobby, no, I'm kidding. But but no, that's one experience. I had another experience. We were moving stuff in the auditorium basement. Me and the costume person, her name is Renee. Renee and sweet
Renee.
sweet Renee. And we were moving stuff out. We were moving old costumes and stuff out of the auditorium, and we were shuffling around them in the basement. She's in front of me, and we both have like armloads of like costumes and whatnot, and she just stops dead in her tracks. She just doesn't move. And I said, Renee, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, nothing at all. And then she turns around to me and she says, did you see like a giant white being in front of me just now? And I said, no. And what do you mean, giant white being? She's like
a person in a with a blanket over them.
Yes. I mean, something like that. She's like, but she said this thing was like really, really bright. And I said, no, I didn't see anything. And she was like, I just saw it just a second ago. You sure you didn't see it? And I said, I'm very sure I didn't see it.
And it might be important to say that, Renee is not a crazy person.
No, Renee, no. I want to say that Renee is like one of the most like a person who's just phenomenal person. But she has like so much common sense, and she just, but she's
a logical person. It's not like,
yeah, she's very logical. You get it.
Yeah.
So,
she wasn't someone who walks around saying that she sees white beings walking in front of her all the time.
Yeah.
this is an odd occurrence.
Yeah. I mean, this is a very highly unusual occurrence for her. So the fact that she saw something and I saw something, like, that's just two stories that we have. I have a couple more stories.
you were hit with the pencil once, right?
I was hit with I was on stage and my pin flew up on stage from the front row. And there was nobody else in the audience.
That's crazy.
Do you give ghost tours of your auditorium, Andrew?
No, but I should.
Yeah, you should.
I really should.
Should dress up like a little.
You've let us do a little ghost hunting there though before.
That is true.
Yeah, well, that's
You've killed a few phantoms.
never done that.
Ghost hunting.
I've never had an experience there. I don't think, other than just being like, I feel like something's watching me. I mean, I think I might have heard a noise or two every now and then, but I've never had an experience. But I've known a few people who have.
Yeah. It's I know a couple people have too. I know somebody who has video evidence of it, but that person, I can't show you that video evidence because that person's no longer on Facebook. Oh. Which is a shame, but it really does. It really is just like so much. I remember watching the video several times, and it's actually quite terrifying.
You showed me up.
Did I?
Yeah, with the banging, they were.
Oh yeah, that's it. And yeah, it was quite terrifying. I remember that video very well.
Yeah, there was just a banging noise just going on above them, and there was no one else in the building. Mm-hmm. It just continued for minutes.
Yeah, and it gets louder and louder. Mm-hmm. True story.
Oh, well, if you don't mind me doing, I'm sorry.
That was perfect time to. Spooky. So, Andrew, you do photography.
I do photography.
Photography.
I dabble in a little bit of stuff.
I think that's why some people call you Clicky, right?
Clicky. Mm-hmm. Mr. Clicky.
Yeah.
Clicky.
What,
I'm going to get that tattooed somewhere. Be like, have like CLICKY. Mm-hmm. Clicky.
Whenever people ask what the C stands for, say Clicky.
Clicky Andrew Nichols.
Clicky Andrew Nichols. That's why they call me Mr. Clicky.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. But I didn't think it was, you didn't think it was professional to put that on your page, That's why you just say C.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, so what draws you to photography? Why do you do that?
Excuse me. I do it because I like capturing images in time, and I also like just seeing how it's, to me, it's like any other. I think of cameras as like a paintbrush almost, because what you're doing is that you're taking stuff and you're kind of you're seeing things the way you see them, like what artists normally do. And if you ask me like what my favorite photographer is, I honestly couldn't tell you. There's a lot of them. But like, I never thought to myself that I would be never be a photographer more than what I am now. So it's taken a very, very nice turn.
You're a real artist.
Oh,
Andrew.
Well, thank you.
That was also a call forward, a foreshadow.
Thank you
to Adrian.
I
have a bit there.
Your artwork's really great, and I mean you do a lot of you seem to primarily do landscape stuff.
I do landscapes. I do architecture. I'm getting into portraits now, and portraits are actually really fun because like I've been wanting to work with people for a while.
It's about time I get a renewed.
You need to get a renewed one.
I need a renewed Andrew Facebook profile photo.
Yes,
because I get one about every year now. So it's about time we get a nice little renewed.
We haven't had one in like 2 years.
Yeah, I know. The last one was right after I got my haircut, I think.
Yeah. So what he's referring to is that there is like 2 or 3 portraits of it out there. We were just playing around there one day, and he had this hat that belonged to a former teacher that was over there, and he just rested it on his chest, and he was looking. He just struck a pose, and I just took it, and it looks very nice.
Struck a pose. There's nothing to it.
Pretty much.
Vogue.
I'm a natural.
Vogue.
Those are some of my best photos that I only changed once I got to Disney and then Cedar Point, where I had I'm at my workstation, or just like these really cool workstation photos.
Yeah.
But I always like whenever I show people, because there's the one of me with the long hair.
Yeah.
And the beard. And whenever people are like, I tell people I used to have long hair, I'll pull up that photo and I'm like, look, this is a professional photo that I got done. And
by Clicky Andrew.
I'm going to have to start saying this is a photo by Clicky Andrew. See Andrew Nichols photography. But I always
follow my new Instagram page, Mr. Clicky.
Mr. Clicky.
I think we got to get into our final segment.
Yeah.
Here we go. It's called. Oh, I had to get my close up. It's called Prost Party.
Oh.
This is Proust Party, Andrew.
Like David Prowse?
It's not Prowse. Proust.
Oh.
Proust.
It's a questionnaire that dates back to the old French times. Let's see what Google says. Hey Google, what's the Proust questionnaire?
According to Wikipedia, the Proust questionnaire is a set of questions answered by the French writer Marcel Proust and
I might
often
be
used
Proust
by
this entire
modern
time.
interviewers. Proust answered the questionnaire in a confession album, a form of parlor game popular among Victorians.
Well, that's a little bit embarrassing if it was Proust this entire time.
For several episodes, we've been saying Proust. Proust Party.
We'll have to look into that a little bit more and see if we've been doing that incredibly wrong this entire time. Well, that's fun that we've recognized our failure on your show, Andrew.
Oh, cool.
So the Proust Party is just a questionnaire. We're going to ask you some questions, and sometimes they're really thought-provoking and amazing. And
sometimes they're stupid, and sometimes I hate Alex for forcing this to be part of our podcast every single episode. So here we go. Andrew, you need to select a number between 1 and 20. We're going to do 2 of these.
Okay.
We'll get 2 numbers. What's going to get 2 numbers? You want to do a number, Alex? Give me a number as well.
7.
7? What's your number?
13.
7. Andrew, what do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Hey, Google. Define virtue.
Like silence is golden.
Oh, sorry. Ask it again. I stopped it by accident.
Hey, Google. Define virtue.
Virtue has 2 different meanings. Starting with the most common one, virtue can be used as a noun to mean behavior showing high moral standards, similarly to goodness and virtuousness. Is that the meaning you had in mind?
No.
Got it. Finally, virtue can be used as a noun to mean in traditional Christian angelology, the 7th highest order of the 9-fold celestial hierarchy. Do you want to hear how virtue is spelled?
Yes.
Virtue is spelled Virtue.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, Google,
I thought there was a Q in there.
can you
somewhere.
use virtue in a sentence, please?
Sorry, I don't have any usage examples for this meaning of virtue.
Oh.
Sad.
So I love whenever in the definition they say goodness or virtuousness. What if you didn't know what virtue meant? Why are you using virtuous? So,
Hey, Google, you're fired.
I hope we can still be friends.
That's negotiable.
okay,
virtue. What is the most overrated virtue?
Yeah, like,
wow,
what-
that is
like goodness or virtuousness.
that is a. Could you use that in a sentence, please?
Andrew, you are Catholic, right?
I am a Catholic.
So do you know what are the virtues in Catholicism?
I don't know that right offhand. I just know the 10 Commandments.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't they have virtue, but like similar to how they have like sins, right? They have like the 7 deadly sins.
well,
Don't
they have the
virtue?
7. Yeah, they have the 7 deadly sins. I have to look these up. Hang on.
Hey Google, what are the virtues in? Probably should have
According to
pointed that.
Wikipedia, virtue is moral excellence. A virtue is a trait or quality that is deemed to be morally good and thus is valued as a foundation of principle and good moral being. In other words, it is a
So-
behavior that shows high moral standards, doing what is right and avoiding what is wrong.
There's there.
Virtue is vice.
It's done. It's done now.
No. I'm just saying, like, what? So there's prudence, justice, temperance, courage, faith, hope, and charity. There's 7 virtues.
Yes.
So
I wouldn't say that like, and it could also just mean what is. I think what I was probably saying is like what we as a society say is really great that is kind of overrated. That is probably something that like people make that a little bit put too much esteem into that quality or that characteristic.
you know, the one thing I would say is that like when people make, it's going to sound really weird, but when people make like work a priority over people, that to me is.
Here in America, particularly, work is pretty high on people's lists.
Yeah, like people, like and the thing is that people now just want to go to work. That's all they want to do is they just have that work mentality. And my thing is that it's like work over like human beings. And the thing is that like we're all, if you,
You don't believe in working.
well, no. I think I'm working up to my point here. I think what I really want to say is that if I had the choice between choosing, it's going to sound really weird, but if I had the choice between like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
No,
I really don't. But the thing is that I don't mind working. Like, here's the thing. There's
more to life than work.
There's more to life than work. There's more to life than getting up every day and going to an office for 50 years or whatever like that.
And so much of our time is spent at work.
Yeah.
It's spent doing a 9 to 5, 40-hour work week.
Yeah.
And the 40-hour work week is seemingly almost designed to, exploit as much out of your worker as possible, to take as much of their time and for their own for the capitalistic gains of the corporation or whatever it is.
Yeah, I agree, because like when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to that, I believe that like we now have this work mindset to where we, like, all of us in here are probably going to work till we die. And the thing is that there's just so much, there's such a gap here that we have here. And now that we have this instilled in us, it's just like, well, if we don't do that, I guess we're just going to go broke.
I do think, though, as a society, though, we are starting to move a little bit away from that.
I think we're
being.
Yeah.
I think
It's-
COVID is gonna cause that.
I think we're getting there. I don't think we're there.
People are starting to, because I've paid attention to a lot of different things in different areas, and people are starting to realize their worth of just being like, they don't have to be treated a certain way. Like, there's so many open job opportunities right now that, like, if you're getting treated bad, there's a lot of other options, especially like fast food workers. They're not dealing with it, because if they're getting treated bad at one place, the next fast food place is hiring. Like, you can always find another job.
There's still the problem of the fact that, like, I think that Americans work too much. in comparison to other companies and other countries and stuff. And like, we don't have as much vacation time. We don't know what to do when we're not working, and we're almost conditioned to be that way.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like whenever people, the one thing I hear about, especially when people retire, is like, man, I wish I could just go back to work. And you know, that thing is just like, you know, you retire because you don't want to work anymore. But the other thing is is that like when we worked way too much, you know, when we work way too much, especially when people are put on, you know, because now we're living in the age of where if you don't have two jobs, you kind of die. And we don't treat, like, corporations just don't treat their workers good enough. And especially with these giant companies like Amazon, Google, Amazon, you know, Walmart, you know, anything that has like a giant subsidiary. And now what they're doing is that like they're phasing people out. And the thing is that now it's going from like everybody has a teller to now, oh, wait a minute, we have these automatic tellers to where they don't have to do that anymore. So it's like, what is, you know, when it comes to work, you know, I would just assume that like you have a purpose at work rather than just being a drone. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? I know. Yeah. I just wandered off there, and I'm sorry, but that's kind of how I work with stuff like that. Like, I believe that if you're truly passionate about something, that you want to do, you should do as much as you can to pursue it. And, you know, by God, take care of your mental health. Your mental health should be a priority. If there's any virtue that I would say that is overrated, it's not taking care of your mental health. Because up until about 3 years ago, I had problems with it, and now I'm doing better. So please take care of your mental health.
Yeah. I think
and that got real serious.
Yeah. That's why we like these non-Proust parties.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What was yours again?
It was 13, but I mean, do we really want to risk another one?
We don't. I think we're good. Yeah, that should be good. That was a good.
What is 13?
Yeah, what is 13?
13 is we've had this before. So if you want to get it,
14.
14. What is your favorite occupation? So let's just say, what is it? I mean, we were talking about jobs, I guess, and everything.
Yeah. You know, that actually works quite well.
Yeah.
Like, what is your favorite occupation that you've had, or is the favorite occupation that you'd like to do?
Like, you'd like to, I would say, I mean, yeah, I would say, like,
mine would be a pirate astronaut. Just saying.
Big business right now.
Mm-hmm. Or a pirate Santa Claus.
Pirate Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Arr.
I really enjoy like what I've been doing with like in the amusement park, but also like I've always wanted to do like
your dream aspirational pie in the sky one. What would that be?
I mean, I kind of enjoy directing. Mm-hmm. I learned directing your play. I really enjoy directing, and so
you're good at it.
But like, I don't know, just kind of more in the film stuff.
Okay.
Just anything on that side, you know, film.
I agree, and I think you're good at it.
Famous.
I guess my occupation I want to do is being famous. Yeah, I think it's
just be famous in whatever you do.
Whatever it is.
It doesn't matter whether you're like tilling the garden or building a $1 trillion company.
No, I used to want to be a firefighter.
A famous firefighter. Yeah.
Anyways, Andrew.
I think occupation that I want to do is
photographer.
I would like to be just a photographer or anything really with a camera. I find cameras, just working with cameras, just being natural. It's just something I like doing. Like, I am kind of with you. I do like directing. I find directing very gratifying.
Have 3 directings as our answer.
Yeah. But I also enjoy writing. And I also enjoy lighting. I think setting up lights and making somewhere,
starting wildfires, lighting.
You know, I really do like fire.
Yeah, and the world needs more fire.
It does. I was just thinking that the other day. Why don't we have more fire?
Well, my world's on fire. How about yours?
Oh, that's the way I like it, and I never get bored. Yeah.
Well, hey, now you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play.
Hey, now you're a rock star. Get your show on. Get paid.
and all that glitters is gold.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
It's a cool place.
And they say it gets colder.
You're bundled up now. Wait till you get older.
But the media men beg to differ, judging by the hole in the satellite picture.
The ice we skate, however, is getting pretty thin.
The water's getting warm, so you might as well swim.
The world's on fire.
How about yours?
That's the way I like it. I'll never get bored. I think we completely broke Alex.
Wow.
So there's your shot of nostalgia there, world.
Is that copywritten?
Yeah, I would imagine that would be copyrighted.
Yeah, all stuff goes to
Didn't
Smash Mouth.
you saw Smash Mouth in concert?
I did. I did
In
see-
concert.
at Disney. And when I was working at Disney, Smash Mouth was there.
Wow.
At Epcot. And
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, they had like 2 #1 albums.
they actually have like decent sized and sometimes big people who come there to like just to
Decent size.
Do they just want to hear? Do they just want to hear All Star?
Well, they're saying what Walking on the Sun, right? That was there.
Yeah, they were still walking on the star. But they did All Star.
Might
They
as well be walking on
did the
sun.
Shrek. Which song was Shrek? What was the Shrek song?
I believe it, right? They did a cover of.
Well, they did. Yeah, they did a cover of.
Was it the Monkeys? I'm a Believer? Is that, was
It,
that
yeah,
not
it
them?
is. Yeah.
Yes, they did that one, and then they did a couple other songs. So, yeah, it was.
Those are the 3 Smash Mouth songs I know. Oh, hey Google, what are some songs by Smash Mouth?
Let me know if you want me to tell you more.
My God.
Here are the first 3. All Star, I'm a Believer, and Walking on the Sun.
That's it. So they are a 3-hit wonder,
We set off 2 Googles going off there.
and really they are like a 2-hit wonder.
I just love how those were the 3. Those are the 3 that we knew. Anyways, okay,
And
that
then
has been.
you, I assume. What is your answer?
Oh yeah, I want to be a film writer and director. I do.
That you were about to say something like, "I want to be a firefighter," or "I want to be an astronaut."
He's like, secretly, I want to be a kickboxer.
Yeah. Never shared this with anybody. I want to be a kickboxer. Training my whole life. And that has been Proust Party.
I was not ready for that.
Yeah, no. I kept trying to cue you up, but not. Well, this is our wrap up. You have anything you want to plug, Andrew?
I want to plug in my photography, which is C. Andrew Nichols. I'm on Facebook. C. Andrew Nichols Photos. I am on Facebook.
Clicky Andrew.
I'm on Clicky. Yes, thank you. And I am also on Instagram. Andrew _of_ Nichols. And you can follow my photos on there.
You're on TikTok?
I am on TikTok. C. Andrew Nichols.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're big fans of your TikTok.
Oh, my God. I only have 7 videos on there, but thanks for following. Like them. No, I'm also on So Many Sequels. Mm-hmm. So Many Sequels. Yeah, you all heard So Many Sequels. Yeah. It's good.
Oh, wow.
The crickets have heard of it.
That's better. Okay. I'm glad you all caught on. I'll see y'all in hell. No. I'm kidding. But no, So Many Sequels. So Many Sequels. I am part of that podcast with 3 other people, and we talk about movies and their sequels, and we review them. We do old movies, but we do new movies as well.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's a really fun podcast, and it's really good. They should check that out on all the podcasting things. Similar to our podcast, all podcasting things. We have it on our YouTube channel. I don't know where you're watching this out, but if you're watching the video version, it's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cade Thomas, and other things that we create as well. Andrew, at this point, by the time this is released, we might have a movie review show that we do.
oh boy.
It's possible. We'll see that. So if you haven't watched that, that's called Double Feature Movie Club. Hopefully
Feature.
this should be arriving pretty soon. Maybe we start it next weekend.
Oh,
Andrew.
boy.
We'll see. Or a weekend after. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Double feature. Ooh. Oh.
I was tapping that for a second there.
Alex, you have anything you want to plug?
Just the normal stuff. TikTok at Claire Bubble, I think is my current TikTok name.
Claire Bubble.
Claire Bubble. Actually, don't follow me there. It's a little cringy at the moment. I don't post anything else. But you can follow Cade on TikTok for Cade Thomas.
At the Cade Thomas.
The Cade Thomas.
Claire Bubble.
On on all the socials, I've done the Cade Thomas with the exception of YouTube. And Andrew's taking a selfie, I think.
Selfie.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you again. If you we did do a mic check beforehand. Photo. And so if you would like to check out our Patreon,
you'll learn a lot about ostriches and how they're cooked, how they get steaks. Oh, I might not have my
it's kind of like beef, but
kinda like beef.
healthier beef.
We don't give away all the things,
Oh,
Alex.
sorry. We also have an email.
Yes, and if you want to have any comments, any questions that we can answer on air,
Yes.
or deep concerns about us, you can send those to Cade. It's Cade Friends at gmail.com. And how do you spell that, Alex?
CADEFRIENDS
At
gmail.com.
There you go. That's how you spell it.
Diggity damn.
Okay. Anything to close us out? That's it. Thanks for joining us.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Y'all come back real soon. Sit down, sit down, sit down. You too, Phil. You made this boy cry at your theme park. Cry.